In-class considerations. There's a distinct difference in the setup of one's technology and applications when presenting from one's desk and when presenting from a class space. When at a desk, one's focus may be on the application itself. The instructor plays the role of online moderator and may lead a conversation that includes online hand raising, chat, emoticon sharing, polling, all while switching between various sources, files, and the camera. From this position, an instructor can soon become comfortable with the seamless multiplicities of what is a standard Zoom call while serving as an erstwhile engineer. Instruction in a classroom setting, then sitting behind a desk while asking those students present in class to participate via laptops is really not best practice, with the notable exceptions if you're teaching an application, say you're teaching Photoshop or Excel, then clearly that makes sense. Rather, in a standard classroom setting with some live students, I'm going to give you some examples of ways to make that work and seem a little bit more natural and fluid. The instructor's mic will always be live. Likewise, the instructor's camera will always be live or at least accessible by students. So once you get those two set up, you can basically set them and forget them. Choose that default camera and aim it wherever you're going to present from. If you need to move it, you can. If you need to get a USB extension, you can get one of those. And you can set that camera up so it shows just you in front of a class, you in front of a board, but you shouldn't be tied to your computer monitor the entire time. You should be able to work back and forth from the computer monitor to being in front of your class, and we'll discuss that very thing. And of course, you'll place the mic in a natural place near where you're going to be lecturing, and it'll also be able to pick up the class in the background. Now, the reason I say this is because the instructor's camera, after you have it set it up in default, can always be accessed with a little thumbnail on the lower right-hand side for the students. So if you're using a lecture, they'll see the screen, they'll then see you, and they'll see the screen, and they'll be able to switch back and forth themselves, and that will prevent you from having to do it. There are three separate views to consider. While not hard to sort out, in the live classroom space, these really do need to be top of mind. Unlike some other screen sharing applications, the moderator's view in Collaborate doesn't always show the outgoing signal to you. Of course, audio and video in the class, for your people in class who want to see that, is going to be used by the projector. So that's going to be set up ideally so that your screen 2 is going to the projector. That said, if you then share that screen 2 with Collaborate, you won't have to worry about what's live for your students and what's live for the remote students. It'll always be the same, and the remote students can switch to your camera source also, but you shouldn't have to switch back and forth. Now, at this point in time, the instructor is free to lecture and bring up media without the constant awkward focus on a monitor. Nonetheless, as one gets used to this system, the back and forth with the entire class may still be made dynamic and fluid, as instructors consistently require the feedback that happens organically in a face-to-face setting. Many instructors are finding that the fluid movement from the front of the class to the PC, in other words, from lecture to the response and reinforcement interface, is not only helpful but adds a level of corporate engagement that is missing from many large classes otherwise. These can include polling, the binary feedback of yes, no, happy, sad with the emoticons, and also using the chat window itself. This doesn't have to take away from your lecture. That said, most classes will still rightly include a lecture element. These remain important and can provide traditional instruction without the nibbling distractions of a host of bips and bleeps from your computer. So at intervals, an instructor should be able to hand off watching the chat, watching the hand raising, or whatever's going on that screen to someone else in class. So if a student can do that, they can interrupt if need be, but you can focus on your lecture. Then, in a fluid, organic fashion, you can go from the lecture to going back to monitor and then back to the lecture. So hopefully this will increase engagement and will also increase your ability to focus on lecture during your course. If you need anything else, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much.